Hey everyone, I haven't made a traditional video in a little while, so it's good to be back. Today I want to talk about something I've become really interested in lately: analog horror. What is analog horror? If you click this video, you probably already know what it is, but hear me out. Analog horror is an internet subgenre of found footage fiction that mimics the aesthetic of late 20th century analog media, such as VHS tapes, public access television, and emergency broadcasts. It creates psychological dread and uncanny tension through lo-fi visuals, distorted audio, and vintage PSAs, often telling stories involving supernatural, cosmic, or otherwise unexplained horrors. It's a genre that I feel I haven't given a fair shake until recently. The creepy aesthetic, the hidden lore, and this nostalgic feeling all draw me in. Obviously, I never lived through the decades these series are trying to recreate, but somehow they still manage to make me feel nostalgic. Series like the Mandela Catalog, Local 58, Gemini Home Entertainment, The Backrooms, and my personal favorite, The Walton Files, are brilliant examples of how tension can be created through unfiction and found footage. They're all high-concept ideas explored through a unique style of filmmaking that traditional movies haven't really captured. I think my obsession with the genre really began when I went to go see the Backrooms movie. More recently, I've been watching a series called Orchid Archives, which captures that style surprisingly well. I'd recommend checking it out. But there's one thing I've noticed. I feel like I've discovered this genre after its peak. These days, analog horror is often called oversaturated, with many people saying it's been slowly declining over the last few years. So, why? I think it comes down to three main problems: AI, overuse of existing IPs, over-reliance on violence. Let me explain. The first issue is AI. One of my favorite modern analog horror series is Angel Engine. I love its 1990s anime-inspired aesthetic and its biblical themes, which are all fascinating. The story is complex and filled with symbolism and striking imagery. The problem is that much of it appears to rely heavily on AI-generated visuals. That leads to inconsistent art styles from shot to shot, making it harder to stay immersed. More broadly, AI has given creators an easy shortcut. Instead of carefully crafting every image, some creators generate visuals in minutes and upload videos as quickly as possible. The result is quantity over quality.
You hear what they said about the corruption virus, Patrick? It tears time apart.
I don't even like the sound of it, SpongeBob.
Look, what's that?
The crash. Oh my god!
Now, that's not to say AI automatically makes something bad. It doesn't. But when it's used as a replacement for creativity instead of a tool to support it, the final product usually suffers. Very often suffers, The second issue is the overuse of existing intellectual properties. By now, we've all seen it. Take a popular character, stretch its face, give it an unsettling smile, distort the eyes, and suddenly, it's supposed to be scary. Most of the time, it's not. It just isn't scary. There have been exceptions. In my opinion, The Man in the Suit is one of the few series that uses an existing property in a genuinely creative way. It's probably my third favorite analog horror series. The bigger issue with both AI and IP horror is that they often replace originality. It's easy to build a series around a recognizable character or generate images with AI, but audiences can usually tell when something was made with genuine care versus when it was thrown together. The handcrafted feeling is a huge part of what makes analog horror work. The third point is probably my most controversial. I think violence is overused in analog horror. Now, don't get me wrong, my favorite analog horror series, The Walton Files, contains plenty of violent moments. Children die in accidents, characters are murdered, and there are some genuinely disturbing scenes. But those moments exist to serve the story. In many newer series, violence feels like the entire point. The formula often becomes something creepy happens and then everyone dies. After you've seen that enough times, it stops being shocking. Good horror isn't about how graphic something is, it's about anticipation, mystery, and letting your imagination fill in the blanks. Ironically, what scares me most in analog horror isn't the gore, it's the feeling that something is deeply wrong beneath the otherwise ordinary surface. That's one reason I wanted to mention the Orchid Archives. What I like about it is that it hides its darker elements beneath an almost wholesome exterior. It feels much closer to the kind of quiet unease that made early analog horror so effective. That's it. I don't think it's perfect. It leans a little too heavily on jump scares and isn't always particularly frightening. Still, I appreciate what it's trying to do. And no, before anyone asks, I'm not secretly promoting it because I made it. I didn't make it. I just think it's worth checking out. So, is analog horror dead? No, there are still fantastic series being made, like the Glendale Archives. The problem is that the genre has become so oversaturated that finding those great series now means digging through dozens of uninspired ones first. At its best, analog horror isn't about gore, loud noises, or distorted faces. It's about atmosphere. It's about mystery. It's about making the viewer question what they're seeing. When creators take the time to build that atmosphere, instead of relying on shortcuts, the genre reminds us why it became so popular in the first place. Alright, thanks for watching, y'all. I know I didn't have too much to say on the subject, but I've been itching to make a video about it because I've just been heavily invested in found footage and analog horror of lately. It's really, really a fun genre to get into, in my opinion, because it doesn't take much to make analog horror. But a lot of people might say that that's a bad thing and that people should put more work in analog horror. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't put work into it, because the final product has to be good in the end. I'm just saying that it beats spending $1 million on a full-length movie. Well, that's enough talking for me today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my channel for more content. And go check out the Orchid Archives. Please check it out. Alright, I'm done. Bye.